What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I am your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week is Dan Gilbert and Ashley Dye. Gentlemen, I don't know why I say this week. It's every week.
Every week.
But I wouldn't rather spend my Saturday with anyone else other than you guys, apart from maybe myself. That sounded weird.
That's a lie.
I just like playing video games. We're not going down that road again. We did it last week.
Why are we filming? We should be playing our games.
We should. But anyway, let's jump straight into the show. Nice and efficient this week, touch wood. And talking of efficient, hopefully you're seeing this on Monday because you didn't see it last week. But this show is supposed to be up every Monday, and the three of us get together to chat about the news in the video game industry. We also then talk about the game releases of that week before then picking our favourite game of the week. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, please do subscribe to our channel and share us with your friends.
Speaking of delays, did Party Chat go up on Wednesday?
It did.
Yay.
That was on time. It was just that one video. Hopefully, be the only time it happens.
Yeah.
Inevitably, it won't be. No. So let's jump into the news straight away this weekend. Nintendo were making some pretty big headlines this week on two fronts. Firstly, that they're going to be making some mobile games for all of our smartphones, which sounded interesting. They're partnering up with DNA, so a Japanese mobile firm, and basically they've emphasised that it's not going to be ports of their Game Boy or DS games. These are going to be brand new games with the Nintendo characters that we all love or loathe, depending on your preference. So the opportunity here is basically to target, we've talked about this before, Dan.
Yeah, it's the expansion in mobile gaming, isn't it?
It's just, 1 billion people have smartphones, so it makes sense to kind of try and reach that audience. Do you think this is a good business move?
I don't know. I think it's always worth. I mean, you've only got to look at big corporations globally, the likes of Apple, going into different types of business, tellies, watches, this, that and the other. It's the same with gamers, the likes of Nintendo, Sony, everyone else. They're going to be wanting to get into every aspect of the business they can.
I think out of the styles of games and so on that you get from these companies, Nintendo's is probably the one that lends itself best to that move onto the mobile market, because you think traditional Mario games, that's very easy to get a side-scrolling platform onto a mobile.
Yeah, no.
In comparison to imagine Microsoft trying to upload Halo.
Yeah, no, I mean,
as thinking of a flagship, kind of game.
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I've got Sonic the Hedgehog on my phone actually, and it actually plays quite easily on the phone. So.
But these will obviously be games made from the ground up, so hopefully none of this kind of virtual buttons on the screen to tap. It will actually all be made for, I guess, swipe gestures and stuff like that. As long as it's not basically Mario Temple Run, I'll be happy. Because there are so many versions of that game.
Yeah.
God, Temple Run. I broke my iPad playing Temple Run. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
No.
Did I not tell you this story? I'll tell you the story. So basically, I was on this... Do you remember Temple Run though, yeah?
Well, you vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, so basically it was a never-ending run game. You just swipe left and right, and...
Yeah.
Me and Sarah had this ongoing competition of who could have the best score. And I think she was up to something 11 million or something. And I was on 9.5. And I swiped left. I did swipe left. But he didn't go left. And he ran off the end. And I got really angry, and I had it in my hand, and I was just and just headbutted it. And I looked down, and there was a big crack in the screen.
Nice.
So, not my proudest moment.
No, actually not.
So anyway, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. Going mobile.
Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
I think it's a really good move. Not only do their games into it, they're bright and colourful characters, and it's something that... more and more kids now are just playing games on their phone. They're not maybe yet aware of these consoles. So you release a Mario game and go, this character's cool. Is there any other way of playing more games with him? So maybe it will even help boost
sales in other markets.
Wii U sales or 3DS sales or NX sales, maybe. Whatever NX is. Because Nintendo have announced their next-gen hardware.
Yeah.
Which is NX is the code name. That's basically all we know at the moment. What do you think it could be, guys? Obviously, it makes sense that something's in development. I mean, these guys, not just Nintendo. I'm sure the PS5 is already in development, and Xbox, whatever, will be in development. So,
well, they seem to have spent a lot of time and bringing out new versions of their handheld gaming, DS and everything else that they've done. They've brought out revised versions, newer versions of that. And they've not really... They've sort of let the Wii and... Okay, they've had the Wii U and things, but I don't know. It's never really moved on, is it? It's always still that.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a brand new thing, or do you think it's going to be an evolution of what they have?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like, there was some sort of like talk of going in hand with this mobile thing that maybe Nintendo were looking at actually producing a mobile thing specifically for their new line of games. But the counter argument is they don't want to do that because they don't want to accidentally kill off like the 3DS.
Yeah, that's the handheld, isn't it?
So they don't want to attack themselves.
No.
And so on. But in terms of home stuff, I know some people are actually kind of surprised by this because they thought more support was being thrown behind the Wii U by Nintendo. Yeah, it actually seems like they're actually pulling the plug.
Yeah,
Well, Nintendo already have the biggest market share, don't they, in the handhelds region?
They've got that nailed down. I mean, they're not releasing mobile games to help their 3DS.
No.
They're just moving to the next level.
It's just it's just another segment for them.
What I'd really like to see, I don't think it'll necessarily happen, but if they're focusing on the mobile to be the more casual games, then maybe this NX will kind of be something that rivals.
I'd like to see Nintendo go for the more I don't want to be horrible to Nintendo, but
You're trying to say grown up in a polite way.
Yeah, I am.
Hardcore gamer.
Yeah.
But then again, there are some very hardcore games on Nintendo consoles.
Yeah. There are, but they're just not known for it. Nintendo, you always think of, family games or kids games, and I don't know, I just always associate Nintendo with that. I always have done.
Part of me wonders if maybe they'll backtrack off the whole motion controller idea.
Yeah.
And they'll go back to the more traditional thing that the other consoles are using in order to maybe pull more of the traditional gamer inside back to them. Because the motion controller is kind of gimmicky at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, I mean, Microsoft, they're still trying with the Kinect.
Well, you think about it, Nintendo, because a lot of people didn't really like the whole nunchucks thing, actually had to come out with a proper controller anyway.
Look, I'm a lazy gamer. I just want to sit on my arse and play games.
Exactly.
I don't want to be jumping around the living room. I just want to sit there with a controller in my hands.
Yeah. Well, no doubt we will have more information for you guys next year if we're still going by then.
If we're not bankrupt, yeah.
But we won't be bankrupt. We'll be millionaires with multi-million subscribers, no doubt.
Yeah.
So
we'll be
thank you to you right now, our original viewership.
Yeah, sorry, there's no video this week. We are sailing in Saint-Tropez.
Streaming live on Monaco. Right, moving on then. Moving away from Nintendo for now. And Konami have been in the news again this week. We spoke, I think it was just last week, about the release date of Metal Gear Phantom Pain coming the 1st of September. And it's been a pretty crazy week this week. We had firstly rumours that Kojima had left Konami due to power struggles, which is probably not...
Does that translate? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that just a bad translation? I don't know.
Power struggles, it basically means that he probably... I always perceived Kojima to be the kind of guy that maybe will always do what he wants, whether or not... Because he must still have a boss,
Yeah.
And he always wants to do what he wants, and so maybe there were some kind of... It's highly possible.
Yeah.
But then, after this rumour, Konami then put up ads on their website for work on the brand new Metal Gear games, which was interesting as well, because Kojima said last week that this was going to be the last Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
Which we said would never be the case. But
I don't think it will.
And then, obviously, when everyone was starting to put two and two together, saying, what the hell's going on here? Konami and Kojima both had to come out and release a joint statement basically just saying that they're committed to Metal Gear Solid 5 and everything's going behind it and it will still be coming out September 1st. So, what do you guys make of this? Is this just unfortunate PR or is there maybe something more behind the scenes?
Well, the fact is, last week he said last one. So people kind of thought maybe more that's his final involvement in the project.
Yeah.
And so on, and maybe he kind of hoped that the project would end with him. But obviously no company is going to stop something that's making them money just because one person's going.
Exactly.
But many would argue that Kojima is Metal Gear.
Yes, he is. But let's look at what Konami have as in terms of a studio. They have Metal Gear and they have Pro Evo, which Pro Evo is not even selling as well as it used to. No. They need Metal Gear.
They do. They do.
So they're like, I don't care if you don't want to make any more. This is our IP. we are making more, and that's probably where maybe some kind of arguments have come on.
Yeah.
You know, they maybe they weren't happy that he was saying it's the final one, but Kojima's always been known to be a bit of a tease and kind of always say things and not mean them and stuff. So you always talk.
Kojima's a bit like the Jeremy Clarkson of Top Gear.
He is, but far cooler. That was a very toned down version of what I was initially going to say. But no, the important thing to take out of this, whatever happens, is we're still getting our Metal Gear game this year. Yeah. And that's all that matters.
It's going to happen, so that's fine.
Moving on then. Another game we are getting this year. God of War 3 for the PS4. Now this game obviously it has already existed.
Yep.
But it's not existed fully remastered in 1080p on our latest consoles. And that's coming out on July 14th. Guys, are you excited for another remaster?
I don't know. I mean, I am sort of getting used to the fact that there are a lot of games being remastered. God of War, I've never been a massive God of War fan, but I don't know. I mean, maybe. I really don't know.
Right, so basically, the reason behind this is to coincide with the 10-year anniversary of the franchise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's a big landmark. I can understand releasing it, but it's not the 10-year anniversary of God of War 3.
No.
So why are we not getting the trilogy collection?
Well,
they've already released like a HD of, I believe, 1 and 2 for the PS3/Vita. But why are we not getting these all for the PS4? That's because the God of War 3 is probably the easiest one to make into 1080.
Yeah.
Because it's only a couple of years old.
Yeah.
So it's the least amount of work, and they're just cashing in on an anniversary. That's very much how I read it.
Yeah.
And obviously, Sony are maybe worried about their lack of exclusives this year, so they're piggybacking on.
There is that, I suppose. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think this news might have kind of rubbed people the wrong way a little bit because we're still waiting to hear about the new God of War game. You know, not a shiny version of an old God of War game.
Yeah.
But
I hear you. I just with this, I'm sat on the fence. I really don't know. A part of me is kind of thinking, yeah, it's I might pick it up. I might play it. I don't know. I might be a bit excited for it, but other than that, I'm not. It's not what I'm really.
I've got less issue with them like remastering and bringing out games that have been out a while.
Yes,
in,
exactly.
Like, a long period of time has passed.
Yeah.
But like when it's only a few years old, it's like you're clearly just trying to make money on this.
Yeah.
Rather than
you got to
rather
look
than
at
you
Grand
running
Theft.
it.
You've got to
Rather
look
than
at
like,
Last of Us.
exactly.
All these games,
Well, Grand Theft is an exception that I actually allow because it came out at the end of the console life, and they wanted this GTA Online to be
they basically
a
said
community going forward.
Yeah.
So they had to re-release the game to port it over. The Last of Us, again, I mean, I suppose the same with God of War. You've got to allow for the fact that there's probably a lot of people out there who have recently moved to the PlayStation family from 360, because 360 was the main. You ask most people that had one console, everyone had the 360.
Yeah.
But now everyone has the PS4. So there are people that haven't played God of War. It just annoys me that we're not getting a full trilogy. You know, something more meaty to make the value
an anniversary
more worthwhile,
special, really, rather than
Basically, as this is only a 2-year-old game being remastered, it better not be any more than £30. That's all I'm saying. You know, but that's my opinion. Moving on then. Have you heard of a company called Utomik, Ash?
I have not.
Cool.
Who are they?
They are basically going to be the video games answer to Netflix.
along with every other company.
Or at least they want to be. That's what they want to be. They think that they can give us gamers unlimited PC games for $10 a month. So let's translate that into sterling. £10 a month. Let's be realistic. Now, the way that they differ to people that you've heard of maybe on Live or PlayStation Now is that they're not going to be... It's not going to be basically a game streaming from a supercomputer at a server location the other side of the world. The idea is that this will be progressive downloads, and their technology allows them basically you can start playing the game as it's downloading.
Right.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense because I don't need the last levels when I'm playing still like the first level. And I mean, I don't know how it would necessarily work for games kind of like an open world game where you need the whole map, but I like the idea. I think that, again, the internet's still not quick enough to have this.
Well, not here, for sure.
I'm not doing a style on the internet here. I've been trying to speak to Shaw support this week, but no support at all. They are not helping me. Anyway, the way I look at this is, if they can do it, if we can get PC games unlimited for £10 a month, it comes down to the catalogue, I think, and the service available.
It does. It's never been something I've ever been interested in. It's never appealed to me to pay another subscription for another thing, when really I'm just quite happy just saying, well, I want that game, I'll buy that, I'll have that on the shelf, and that's just the type of person I am.
I think we have talked about this before. I know I've definitely spoken with Dan about it, even if not on camera and off camera, is that eventually we will get a gaming Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there will come times where you'll have a big enough catalogue of good games. I mean, okay, they're not all going to be good. I mean, Netflix has a lot of shit as well, but there is a lot of good stuff on Netflix as well. Mm. It's the infrastructure. However you're going to do it, whether it's going to be cloud streaming or progressive downloading, you need that internet infrastructure. And there was a company called OnLive that failed a few years back, and I tried their service back in 2010. It was god awful, and it was not that the idea was bad. It was just too early. The internet wasn't ready for it, and I think now the internet's probably still not quite ready for it.
I think there are probably some places where it is, but the majority not.
Not Matt's house.
Not my house.
No.
Not your house either, probably.
No.
Probably not.
You need, I don't know. I like the idea, and I hope at one point I can have a catalogue of,
The one thing
I would pay £10 a month to have all of the games, especially as PC games, because none of us play PC games.
Yeah.
So
but one of the things that concerns me with like having a Netflix version of video game stuff is, how stuff gets removed from the Netflix catalogue every now and then.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen with the video game side of things, where you might start playing a game, not be able to get back to it after a couple of weeks, and then suddenly it's gone? Are you going to be in that position?
A game takes a lot longer to complete than a film takes to watch.
I mean, generally that sort of stuff is up for a while, but you could just be unlucky that you decide, no, I'm going to play that, and just start one level, and then the next day is actually its cut-off date.
Well, as long as it's set up with a notice like this game is available for, maybe at least gives you notice 10 days out or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a good it will be a good service eventually.
It will eventually.
Whether it's Utomik that bring it to us or not remains to be seen. Finally then, guys, simulator season is upon us. Great. We've got 3 incredible simulation games for you guys that have been announced this week.
Hang on, let me get my excitement face on.
Excellent.
Alright, good.
First up, Car Mechanic Simulator, which is coming April 14th. This basically will give you the ability to repair people's cars. You alright, Ash?
Yeah, I'm fine. Carry on, mate.
To be honest, mate, it looks no different. That's how you look every week. You never look interested.
Go on.
So yeah, we repair cars as the clocks tick down, and you can also buy scrap cars and do them up and make a profit.
That one's perfect for you, because you always say you know nothing about repairing cars. You can learn while you play.
Well, this is the thing I was thinking about. If this game generally teaches you how to be a car mechanic, then it's a great investment, because it costs a lot of money to service a car.
Except I think it's going to be much like Surgeon Simulator, where apparently just dropping the heart in the cavity is enough.
Hey, I like surgeons. I hope it is. So you basically mean I should not perform open heart surgery on anyone based on my experience in Surgeon Simulator?
I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying you might find the results aren't what you're expecting.
So yeah, this is never anything I thought that I would ever want to play. I mean, let's be honest, simulator games were huge back in the day.
Yeah,
Flight Simulator. Everyone had a joystick in Flight Simulator, and it was always about who could get the joystick with the most additional buttons to comfort it. I was like, oh, mine's got a 20-bit, and it's even got the throttle indicator bit.
Ah, yes.
And the 8-point joystick that just didn't do all the directions; it actually twisted as well.
Yeah.
So you had the rudder control. Yeah.
Yeah. God, those were good times. But anyway, if car mechanics are not your thing, Ash,
what else we got?
how about farming simulator.
And a little more slower pace, just take the day as it comes.
Get on your tractor,
Less stressful kind of job.
crop those fields. Is that what you do? Crop them? Sounds
Harvest.
like something. Yeah.
Harvest.
Harvest your crops. May 19th that game comes out.
Who
So
buys these games? How are they still in business?
it's a very good question. Like, I would generally want to know if anyone is watching this, that these sort of games appear. Like, there are certainly, like, the Surgeon Simulator one,
Yeah.
it's satire,
Yeah.
it's not meant to be a serious simulator. It's a bit of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I understand that, but games like this,
Like the
You know-
farm simulator one I've seen some stuff of it, and it seems like you are meant to properly do the work,
Yeah.
as opposed.
I mean, they actually take this shit seriously when they make this game.
although, let's just say, if I was someone that had an interest in farming, which there are people that generally do have interest in farming, this would be a much better way of doing it than actually having to go out into the fields at 4 o'clock in the morning in the piss cold rain. So
That is true.
So what are we going to have? We're going to have housework simulator. We're going to have greenhouse simulator. Mow the lawn simulator.
Well,
yeah,
speaking of mowing the lawn,
oh, too bad.
no, I was going to say the next one,
Go on.
Goat Simulator.
Yeah, this is the one. Goat Simulator we have talked about before.
We have.
I'm sure all our viewers will remember this. But it is now coming to Xbox in April. We don't have an exact date, but April. It would make sense to release this game April 1st because it's just that kind of game. You basically just take on the role of a goat who is just roaming the town, just basically fucking shit up. That's the politest way I can put it. And I know that's not polite at all, but it is hilarious. Like, I've watched videos.
I've seen some videos.
Whenever you
of
like,
Goat
he
Simulator.
can ride a jetpack.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And like when he does massive explosions, it's called the Michael Bay and stuff like that. See, this kind of simulator is funny. Like, it's ragdoll physics. It's
Yes.
stupid. It's fun.
That I can deal with.
So you approve of that one?
Goat, because it's they've acknowledged that it's stupid and it's silly. The farming one, they think people are actually interested in doing that shit and they take it seriously, and that's the difference.
I would tell you a story right now. It's not really a story. It's more just a fact of my life. There was a game once that I had that was called 18 Wheel Trucker.
Yes.
It was a game for the PC.
Yes, I
that
know
I
the
had.
game.
Do you remember this?
I know the game.
And I thought it was amazing because you could drive, like, it basically had like all of America. It didn't literally have all of America, but it was like, basically what I did was I was in this 18-wheel truck and I drove on a straight road in real time for an hour. And I thought it was amazing because it was all about having to like keep in the lane and not ruin your cargo.
Yeah.
When I look back now, I was like, what the hell am I doing? But they still make these games. I'm sure we looked at one like on Amazon for like $9.99 one week. There was like a bus simulator, bus tour simulator or something. So these games do exist, and there are people that must be buying them.
It's crazy.
But anyway, yeah, for anyone out there, April and May, they're slightly quieter on the gaming fronts, but now we have some solid simulations to whet your appetites for those months. But if you don't want to wait till April or May, we've got the game releases for this week now that we can move on to. Bit more serious. I say bit.
A bit.
Battlefield Hardline.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this one before. Xbox One, PS4, PS3, 360, PC, pretty much everything. It's
not Wii U.
It's an EA game, so it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
This is slightly different from your normal Battlefield games because it's like a cop versus robber game.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it a lot. The campaign actually interests me though this year. It sounds, well,
there's mixed opinions from
some
the
people
general
think it's
public,
really, really
isn't
good. Some people think, well, as always, don't buy this game for the campaign. It's multiplayer. And I understand that because I would never buy a Battlefield game or a Call of Duty game purely for the campaign because they are too short. You can just complete them in a day. But this one sounds quite interesting. You actually can arrest people rather than having to shoot them, which is
kind of the point of the cop, really.
I know it sounds simple, but it's just like there's too much violence in video games, but isn't it? Like the solution for everything in a video game is to kill that
Well, it
person.
is. Yeah, it is. You're right.
You know, like arresting them.
There's no
is just
diplomacy.
I know.
Where is Cop Simulator?
Yeah. Judge Simulator. Fair trial.
God, we're gonna have Judge Judy, the game next.
don't keep our ideas to ourselves. We're going out there stealing our multi-million-dollar ideas. If we can get Judge Judy signed on, that could be. So anyway, Battlefield Hardline, the multiplayer mode comes with 9 maps, 7 different game modes. We've talked about them all in various episodes. We won't go into huge details here, but have either of you guys yet played this, or do either of you have an intention of playing it?
Buying it Tuesday.
Why not Monday?
Because I get paid on Tuesday.
Fair
I'm
enough.
very poor.
So your solution for being poor is buying more video games.
Yeah, I hope my wife's not watching this episode because I have bought a ridiculous
When he
amount
says
of
he's
games.
poor, he just means that he's spent everything he had
Yeah.
this month.
Yeah.
So he has to wait for
All
next
my
month's
extra
pay.
money, my what I call my spend money, all went on games this month. I bought eight games.
It's
this
like
month.
a money.
It's like a child, isn't it? Like most normal people call it disposable income. Spend money.
So spend money.
This is your spend
I know what
money.
you mean.
This is your
But
saving.
I bought 8 games this month, and that's been costly.
Well, on the plus side, when you have zero money, you have hours worth of entertainment.
I do. So I don't need money to spend because I'm at home on my ass playing video games.
And it'll be fine when your wife walks out for spending all the money because you won't care for the next 150 hours.
But yeah, Tuesday, Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Tuesday.
This one that interests you, Dan? I know you kind of you like the. Are you kind of like me? You like the idea, but probably will never buy it.
I think it's probably along those lines. It's like, I don't know if I'd buy it at full price. I'll probably pick it up down the line because it seems like the overall reaction to it has been positive.
Yeah,
And so on, and that's a good thing. And I like the fact, as you said, you don't have to run around running and gunning absolutely everything.
Yeah,
It's a different spin on things.
It's a different spin on the
For
Battlefield.
me, it's because I didn't buy Battlefield 4. And I nearly did when it was cheap a few weeks ago. And I thought, no, I'm going to wait. Battlefield Hardline's got, decent reviews.
Battlefield 4's in the EA Access vault as well, so you can get it for free. Well, not free, you have to pay £30 a year for EA Access, but then you can get that game for free.
Yeah, it's not one of these subscription things, and we already had that conversation today.
Oh, fine. £30 for all of those free games. Kind of sells itself, really.
Moving on.
Final Fantasy Type 0 HD on PS4 and Xbox One. It's the HD remake of the PSP blockbuster that never actually made it to Europe or to the Americas. It was a Japan-only game. This is something
That would
that...
explain why when I was watching some gameplay stuff, I thought, that looks like handheld.
Oh,
I was probably watching a handheld.
This
I was gonna say-
this sounds Japanese.
That's exactly what I thought he was going to say as well. I was like, I wonder why they weren't speaking English. Oh, hello.
No, I was specifically not racist. So anyway, yeah, this is one that a lot of Final Fantasy fans have wanted. It's basically a spin-off from Final Fantasy 13. It's Final Fantasy. We don't need to say too much about it. Everyone knows
How they work.
Yeah.
Action RPG and all that. Probably not one I've never really got into the Final Fantasy series, and
No, not me.
I've got enough games without adding more to my collection. But
I've always
one
felt
is-
though with Final Fantasy, it's just there's always new Final Fantasy games. There's just so many.
Yeah.
Must be one of the biggest franchises, like in terms of the number of different Final Fantasy games that have ever been released.
if you take away like annualized sports games and stuff, then yeah, I would say so.
Gotta be.
Moving on then, we've got Bladestorm Nightmare for PlayStation 4, 3, Xbox One, 360. Ash is not a fan of this game. We watched the trailer before coming on, and I don't think he even made it past the title screen before getting bored. Such is his judgmental attitude.
Yes.
But basically, according to PlayStation, the role is that basically players become a mercenary leader and lead multiple squads in an attempt to guide their side to victory through dynamically changing battlefields. I think, as you said, it's similar to kind of like a Total War game, but not quite.
You're more in there
Rather
actually
than,
doing
like,
stuff.
strategy
whereas,
over the top.
Total
Yeah.
War stuff, you are sat back.
You're like kind of battlefield commander in those sort of games, aren't you?
Yeah,
Whereas this
so
is like actual squadrons within a battle.
you actually get to go in and do the fighting, whereas like Total War, you have to sit back and just watch and hope that the computer generated stuff actually does what you want at the time.
It looks semi cool. It's if you like that type of game, it looks alright. It's not one that I personally will be.
I think I would have been more interested if it was
More
more Total War like, because I have played some of those and I do enjoy them.
Yeah, we had those games in ages. I used to love the Command and Conquer games back in the day when I was a PC gamer nerd. Unlike the cool gamer I am today. So if killing humans is not to your liking, we can go hunting in Africa with Cabela's African Adventure for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's basically a safari hunting game. That's we should just do. This should just be our. We should have like a new video, like Ash's reviews. I'll just shout the name of the game, and you can be like, "E" or. Let's be honest. That would appeal to more people in the world than what we do now.
It would. We should call
Fart noises on the game.
No, we should call it the thumbs up or the thumbs down review.
But yes, there's not really much to say about this. We were talking before. It's like there's games
there's
now.
Depth to the game. It's just it looks so.
There's games now that have like hunting as like a part of the game.
Yeah.
A game that has just hunting, I don't know if it's enough to appeal to someone unless you are a hunter. But if you're a hunter, go hunting.
Yeah, it's
If you're a farmer, buy Farm Simulator.
But like as I was saying to you guys, like I don't really enjoy the hunting stuff anyway in the games
Because you're a nice person.
Exactly. So it's like I do it to get what I need done, but after that you leave it alone. But I don't want a full game.
Ethical boundaries when playing video games.
Well, no. That should be a conversation we have a party chat.
It should be.
About morality in video games, because there are no consequences. But,
I know.
I'm the same as you. Like I'm nearly always good.
Yeah.
With the exception of when like a particular NPC like really pisses me off, and then I will kill them and continuously shoot at their dead carcass. But with the exception of that, I'm generally always good in video games.
Okay, a quick round the table. Who got a prostitute on GTA?
Well, everyone does. It's like one of the first things you do.
Okay, so
and then you wait till she gets out of the car and then run away and take her money.
And get your money back.
Did you feel bad?
I don't think I felt bad about it. I didn't get as much money as I spent.
Okay.
It's GTA though.
Okay, well, I know.
But yeah. Anyway, let's lighten the mood a little bit.
Right.
Fruit Ninja Kinect 2 for the Xbox One. Also on the Xbox One. We don't need... Fruit Ninja, everyone knows what Fruit Ninja is.
Yeah.
You had it for your phone with all your swiping, and now you can do it on full scale size with your arms and stuff.
And look like a ninja in your living room.
Until you realise that, much like with the Wii, where you could cheat by just sort of like generally moving hand, you could just...
Oh no, I'd get full into it. I would.
I
would guarantee you
must hate these games.
Yeah, I would definitely injure myself if I bought this game.
Yes,
and I would just be getting up to turn on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go.
Don't lie. It's Kinect. You'd use your voice.
This is true. Well, I trained my voice. Have you haven't used it? If you say Xbox on, it does not work.
No.
It basically only works when you start to sound angry in your voice. Xbox on. Xbox on. Xbox on. He's like, okay, come on.
That's looking for like the American accent.
Yeah. Anyway, a couple more games here very quickly. Zigguart, which is for the Xbox One as well. It's a dungeon crawling first-person shooter at its finest, should I add? Their words, not mine. Fast-paced combat. I actually, watching the trailer, I thought this looked quite cool. It looks a bit like a rail shooter, but it might have just been the way the trailer was set. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the part of the trailer thing it said was that the dungeons were ever changing, which kind of brings you back to Rogue Legacy style.
Yeah.
Sort of thing that
I
keeps
do
it fresh.
I do like that style of game, I must admit.
Yeah.
I like it when
They do say here that it's the best combination of first-person shooter and roguelite you have ever seen. So maybe it is ever changing.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I have to do a bit more research to see if it's one I actually want to get. But of all the games so far, minus maybe Battlefield, that's the one that I can definitely not say no to straight away.
Yeah.
And rounding out the list, Mario Party 10 for the Wii U. It's Mario Party.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Well, my exact note said, can't be bothered to write anything about this game. It's the same as all other Mario parties.
Yes.
Being the professional that I am.
Yeah.
Well, I say professional, not paid. But no, basically, it's a multiplayer game, very much a party game, as the name suggests. It's almost like a virtual board where you kind of roller virtual dice, and you
Yeah.
move squares, and every time after everyone's having a move, you then have a mini game, and as you win a mini game, you win like a star.
Yeah.
And the mini games can range from something that's maybe button bashing to precision and all different types of
Yeah.
stuff. And it's fine, but I've played so many of these games, I have no interest in playing it again.
Same.
Basically,
Same.
the game style has got stale for you.
Yeah, it's unless there is something really exciting about these mini games that I have not yet seen that would maybe make me go, actually, that looks like a lot of fun. But in the couple of trailers I've watched, they look pretty samey to what Mario. The last one I remember playing was Mario Party 8 on the Wii. So don't know if you guys feel any different.
Yeah, I've only played one of the Mario Party games, and I'm the same. I don't know. I can't say for a fact, but I don't think a lot has changed.
No. If you're having a party, it's a fine game to have. It is very much a party game, and it's fine to play like every once in a while. But it's not one that's going to kind of sit in my console and I'm going to come home and play every night. Let's put it that way. And yeah, that's it. So, guys, your game of the week. What are we going with this week, Ash?
I think it's got to be Battlefield. I mean, I intend to buy it. Once in a while, I would like to support one of these not so AAA games.
Small games, yeah.
But
this week,
I've got to go for Battlefield.
I'm not gonna moan at you for being an indie hater this week.
Yeah.
Last week I would have, but not this week. Dan?
They're same. As in, it's something that intrigues me. I don't know when I'll pick it up or play it, but I'll probably end up playing it at some point.
Mm.
Yeah, I would generally agree, but I there's not really any here that jump out at me.
Mm.
So to be honest, if I had to hand on heart pick, I would say Hotline Miami 2 from last week because there was already Ori and the Blind Forest and Devil May Cry
Yeah.
and Hotline Miami. There was 3 games last week, which were all, in my opinion, more appealing than what's this week. But
You're right.
this Zigguart does look reasonably interesting, so I might kind of look at that one a little bit more. Well, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel weird having the last word and then having to move on. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Share us with your friends. Please leave any comments down below what you think about the news items this week. Is it a good move for Nintendo going mobile? What do you think of the simulators?
Oh, yeah.
Ash is obviously very strongly opinionated. Are you equally as strong? If there's any farmers out there, you let us know the value of this game. Shoot Ash down, please. And then also any of the games that you're interested in. But for this week, Ash, Dan, thank you for your time as always.
Thank you.
And everyone out there, we'll see you next Monday.